Hello my friends, let's go to Bakhmut since it's the hottest place on the front lines, and as you can see here, Russia turned their forces out from the road. You see the vector changed the direction completely 180 degrees before they tried to get Ivanovska and Chasiv Yar under their control. Let's go to the timeline. So 3 days ago they were very close to that road, but finally Ukraine sent some of the reinforcements to that area. It was confirmed by the Wagner soldiers and they were forced to retreat from this area, and as you can see it shrinked. However, they still moved lots of the forces from the north. They were able to capture Blahodatne and Krasnohora, and let's go to the timeline. You see they were successful in taking this part of the road under their control, and you can see gray area, it means the fighting is ongoing, is already across the road and it's very close actually to the Bakhmut city. But still this north part is not really that important compared to the Chasiv Yar. However, Russia still moved their forces to try to capture and partially encircle the Bakhmut city. Their usual strategy is to move from two sides here and there and leave some sort of the way out for the forces, but really they aim the artillery to this particular bottleneck, disabling the retreating forces to escape from this encirclement. However, in this case, because of the problems in the Wagner group, they were unable to move from the south, and on the north they move little by little. Plus, speaking about the city itself, you can see that they're barely moving inside the city. They took this part, the residential area, but if we go to the timeline, there were no any movement in this area for the nearest few days, so they were just blocked in those quarters. So personally, I was concerned about the Bakhmut city 1 week ago. Then I told you that I will predict the destiny of the city in 72 hours, and now I can state that Bakhmut will hold as long as possible until the Chasiv Yar is under control by Ukrainian forces. Because the main thing here is to provide supplies for the armed forces, and we still have lots of the supplies, unlike the Wagner army. Here we have the Wagner soldiers. They recorded the video today claiming that they don't have any supplies of the artillery shells in Bakhmut. The Russian army just cut those supplies, and today Prigozhin had to look for the private sources to get the weaponry. For example, Wagner got some of the supplies from Chechnya, privately delivered by Ahmad army, pro-Russian Chechen forces, and that supplement is nothing compared to the regular supplies that they got from the Russian Federation. So the situation for the Wagner group deteriorates for them, and for Ukraine obviously it's good, and I do not expect that Wagner is going to advance as they did around 1 month ago in Soledar. There are some talks in United Kingdom to provide the Eurofighter Typhoon fighter airplanes to Ukrainian army. Today Boris Johnson said that they got around 100 of those airplanes that should be delivered to Ukraine together with 100 of the Challenger 2 tanks. Well, it may not only protect Ukraine but the UK itself, and I guess we're gonna get some of those airplanes. I wonder whether 100, I think less, but still that airplane is fantastic. And there is also the chance to receive those units from Spain, Italy, Germany and France. I thought that the French army got the different type of the jet. Right, we have some of the news about the Russian big attack, and today President Zelensky in his interview said that Russia has already started it, but I'm not really sure because they sent some of the reinforcements to Melitopol and they consider Zaporizhia area as the possible direction for their massive attack. At least they tried to get the Volodymyr under their control, but maybe now they will try to concentrate on Kyiv and Zaporizhia city itself, which is not far away from the front lines. And we got the information that Russia sent some of the reinforcements from Rostov-on-Don all across this road and from Mariupol to Berdyansk. So now there are lots of the tracks that stack in the mud on this road because the road is not really in good condition. So let me show you the photo. So here is the huge military column and you can see lots of the dirt. I don't think they're really stuck, maybe they're just bogged down somewhere, but little by little they're coming closer to Berdyansk and could be in Melitopol. And this video was filmed in Vuhledar after Russian column was completely demolished. So here the drone is flying, fantastic videos. As you can see, Russia uses those tracks that should have helped to demine the minefield. They are understood that they are going on the mines. But still, many of those armored vehicles just hit the mines on the way and were demolished by our artillery. Well, that is really interesting video that was filmed on the drone. They also tried to use the special demine equipment, and those are two big ropes with explosives on their way, and they just explode the whole road, and later tanks got that way on assault. But that equipment was also demolished by Ukrainian artillery. And according to the International Institute of the War Researchers, Russia lost around 50% of their modern tanks. Here we are not speaking about T-62 or T-55, we are speaking about the modern modifications of the T-72, like T-72B3 or B3M. So together Russia got around 1,800 tanks of those types, and they lost half of them. Alright, it was reported that there was no any spyware equipment on those balloons that were shot down by United States fighter jets in United States airspace. Today, President Biden said that they're still researching and investigating those balloons, but they also don't want to mess with China. So now the United States works with China's side to minimize the outcomes of the possible conflict around balloons. And still, Biden said that he's not going to apologize for this event, for shooting down those balloons, because obviously they were in the airspace of the United States. The Russian soldier who took part in filming this Putin's video, the celebration of the New Year, he got just liquidated in Ukraine. So here's his photo. His name is Yuri Schneider. Schneider is quite a German surname, but you know, many of the Germans were moved to Russia after the Second World War, and mostly they were placed to the Central Asia, and after they mixed with the locals, and they got, and we got, some of the surnames from the Germans. And this is the post of one of his friends. He said that Krug is the nickname of the Yuri who was liquidated in Ukraine, the destiny that most of the Russian soldiers have in Ukraine. And what this guy is doing over here? Strange move. And today there was the big exchange of the war prisoners. 101 soldiers were exchanged from Ukrainian side and also from the Russian side. So our guys came back from the Russian prisons, and they're very exhausted, and finally they're home, my friends. And now please press the like to this video. Also, there are some of the links in the video description where you may support this channel and my job. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.